यहाँ पर यहाँ पर
यार इतना धक्का मारो
कोई दिक्कत नहीं अभी मत करो
Everyone, I'm very happy to be here. Sorry about the delay. Didn't realize having to Mumbai was so far.
Okay, how many of you know that Priyanka in the
acclaim as well for that kind of a role. There's Vidya Balan who's been sort of able to build films on her own. Who do you say today in someone who admire?
I think I admire filmmakers who are making filmmakers who make the films not thinking whether it's going to be a boy or a girl in the female lead, but just to tell a great story. And I think what Vikas did with Queen was exactly that. In fact, we had two female-oriented films that released at the same time, Gulab Gang and Queen, and both of them, were commercial films. They were pitched as commercial films. Like Cate Blanchett said, that, we're not just a niche. And I think that, the fact that filmmakers today are spearheading and saying that we want to make films with female or male leads, it doesn't matter as long as we're telling a great story, and the audiences are coming in to see a great film, I think is a victory. Like you said, Vidya, Kangana in fact has done a few films like that. Vidya has, I have. There are so many actors, Madhuri has. There are so many actors who end up taking that chance. It is a big risk. It is a really big risk when you go out there as a female and say, all right, I'm going to do a film which is entirely on my shoulders, and I hope to God that people end up liking it for the film that we are making and not say कि हाँ लड़कियों वाली film में कौन देखने जाएगा. Though there was a time that happened when I joined the movie business, that's exactly what happened. But I think it's a path-breaking new time right now.
I want to ask you more about your own journey, but why is it then that even if Priyanka Chopra can carry a film on her own shoulders and get a great response from fans, you don't get paid as much as male actors do, and that disparity is still there? Is there a big difference between what you would be paid and what an Aamir Khan or a Shah Rukh Khan or a Salman would be paid?
Yeah, it's a huge difference. It's a very big difference. It's not just marginal, but I guess there has been no female-oriented film which has made 100, 200, 300 crores yet. And I think the day we end up doing that, and I'm being honest enough to say it, the day a female-oriented film ends up doing like 100, 200, 300 crores, maybe we'll be able to command that. And that will take time. It will take the audience getting used to the fact that a female can lead a film which is a good film and can have that kind of commercial success. And it is something me and a lot of my female colleagues will be upset about all the time. That why is there such a huge disparity? I don't think it should be so huge, definitely. But I think that, we are working towards that. We want to, as soon as our films are as successful, maybe we'll be able to turn around and say, we are equal, but we're not yet.
When you talk about carrying a film on your shoulders, able to do it all. You don't feel that there's pressure to do something more meaningful.
What is meaningful? I love Hindi cinema. You take me to the theatre to watch Dhoom, I'll be the first one to buy a ticket. I'm somebody who, loves blockbuster movies with, the villains and the heroes and the heroines and the songs and the dances. And that's my favorite genre of cinema. So I'm completely unapologetic about it. I think that's the kind of cinema we make. That's our history, that's our legacy. And at the same time, yes, I get a chance to do a Satguru Maaf, a fashion, a Maricom, and films where I have really interesting parts. Like for example, Barfi. It's a part which is not a typical Hindi film heroine from any angle, but yet it was a commercially successful film, a commercial movie, it had songs. But so I try and push the envelope a little bit like that, and I don't think I'm apologetic about being a Hindi film heroine and being a part of completely huge potboiler masala movies at all. I love them.
The Maricom project is very interesting, and it's something that you're currently working on. You're working on very hard for it as well. You've trained a lot for it. I'm just curious whether Maricom is going to dance around a tree in this movie or whether it's going to stick to her life.
I'll tell you the truth. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if you will believe this, but as much as, like Nidhi said, she doesn't expect Maricom to be dancing around trees, meet her in real life and she will do that. Maybe not in the film. In the film, you might not see Mary Kom doing a dancing song, but you ask Mary Kom to stand up and sing, she will sing for you. You ask Mary Kom to dance for you, the first person on the dance floor will be that girl. And I think that's fantastic. It's an aspect of her life which I want to bring to this film. Everybody thinks, me too. When I was signed on for this film and I met Sanjay sir and Mary and Umang, you know, I thought there'll be this boxer girl with background music of Rocky playing with a hoodie and she's going to walk on like this tough chick. And when she walked in French chiffon and, you know, red nail paint and a French chignon with red lipstick. And I looked at her and I said, is this the boxer that I'm supposed to play? She's a girl and she loves it. She loves Hindi music, she loves dancing, she loves singing, she loves clothes, she loves heels, shoes, and I think that's the beauty of playing her.
And now we know what we're going to see in the movie as well, which is good.
I'm trying to actually, you know, say that, alright, people are never going to buy the fact that there's this boxer girl and she's like that. But I do want to bring her personality to the fore in this film. So, I don't know, let's see.
Talking about your own journey in this industry, I remember I think you had said that you went through so much struggle in terms of the roles that you were initially offered and how basically you had to start with doing a lot of crap before you could do the kind of scripts and the kind of stuff you're getting today to do. And so just give us a sense of that, like how that evolved and how difficult it was, particularly when you start out as an actress and what you're offered.
I don't think it had anything to do with... when I started and I joined the movie business, I didn't know anyone here. I knew just a few names of directors whose movies I had seen and my dad was a fan of. I didn't know Hindi cinema. My parents had never come to Bombay. So the parts that I got were usually my first two films actually. My introduction happens after the interval and I died before the climax. But it was pretty nice because I got best debut despite of that. But I think this Mr. Amitabh Bachchan had said this once, and I remember reading this when I decided I wanted to be an actress. And I was 17 years old. I didn't know anything. And I remember reading his quote in a magazine, and it said that it doesn't matter the amount of scenes you have in a film. It matters the impact that you leave behind in the one scene that you get. And to me, that really stuck with me. I've done films where I played very small roles to very, very big roles. Kamine, for example, was one of the films that I'm remembered for, and I've been told I was very good in it, and it had only 8 scenes. So I think it is really the impact of the part that you get and how much that you want to play. So when I first started out, I had really small roles, but it took me a little time to also understand what acting is about. People sometimes judge people too soon. I think when new actors come into the business and their first film, you know, we take 3 seconds to turn around and say, "Arey, she doesn't know anything," or "This actor can't act." But it's a really tough thing to stand in front of that camera and actually be able to forget everything that happens. It took me a few years to understand what acting was all about, and I'm still struggling to work towards learning what this craft is, because like everybody else from outside, you know, I thought it was all fun and games, and you know, you get to wear great clothes, makeup and dance, and it's not that. It's a technique, and I've been so fortunate. I've worked with so many amazing filmmakers who have made my technique and my craft so much better over the years.
All right, let's take some questions from the audience. I think there would be quite a few. Yes, in front. Just wait for the mic, please.
Very good evening, Priyanka. This is Ajay from Bangalore. Just when you are part of the women-oriented projects, what do you think your USP or the commerce side, which is your target audience, or like overseas market, domestic side? How do you handle those things? When producers comes to you like Mary Kom or fashion or how do you think in that way?
How do you choose a film? Is that what you're asking?
No, what is your strength when they come to you as a women-centric films where everything is on your shoulders? Whom do you think as a target audience or business perspective? Like overseas market, opening, other things?
I think anybody who likes to watch a good film would be a market. You know, I don't end up making a film saying I am going to make this movie for college kids from FYJC to senior year. You don't think like that. You make a film saying that this is a story I like, this is a story I want to tell, and you go ahead and tell it. I think where it comes to my USP is someone who ends up doing, like Nidhi said, those big blockbuster commercial films, and who ends up doing, you know, critically acclaimed, maybe niche films or female-oriented films, if you want to call them that. I don't. But I think that my audience would be anybody who enjoys watching my work. And so far, I've been able to get through, whether it's overseas or single screens, quite effectively.
I mean, you will be under pressure.
Sorry, sir, we have to let everyone else ask a question. Yes, the lady in the front. You can fight with each other and decide to ask.
Nidhi is boss, so whatever she says.